extraction and recovery system, clears. And where this idea came from, you know, when the Ohio Valley floods, the Mississippi overflows its banks, the hill slides in Malibu area, mud, sand, and silt is very difficult for a pump to get rid of. So the flood pumpers that are on the market today are basically carpet extractors that they've taken and encased a submersible pump inside of the recovery tank. This recovery tank containing this pump can fill up with all kinds of debris. So they can suck up the same debris we can. Small rocks, particles. You could, if your car floods, you could vacuum out your car with it. The difference between the clears and the flood pumpers that are on the market today is those pumps are unable to extract or get rid of the debris. Sand, mud, rocks can't go through a pump, so they have to capture everything. They use a French fry basket on the top to catch the largest debris. That's first line of defense. Their second line of defense is usually a smaller screen type basket that has to be cleaned, as well as a lot of them are using nylon bags to catch the silt and the finer sands, because these will really erode and harm a pump. So, I was on a cruise about 15 years ago, and on this cruise, we're in Alaska, I'm looking over the side, we're at a port somewhere, we'll call it Juneau, Alaska, don't remember which one it was. And at this port, I see a guy sucking salmon out of a fishing boat. And the other end of his machine, the salmon are coming out and going into these large baskets to be weighed, so they can tell the fishing boat, you had this many salmon, go back out and fish some more. Wow. I'm thinking, if they can suck sockeye salmon out of a fishing boat, I can get mud, sand, silt, and small rocks. So we partnered with a company called Hybrid Systems. Hybrid Systems is a high-tech engineering software / manufacturing company here in Southern California. And they said, we can make it work. And about 10 years later, that's the Clears machine sitting right there. So we're going to do a little bit of demonstration. It's going to get a little bit noisy, so it might be difficult to hear. So I'm going to kind of explain what the machine is capable of doing. Again, the difference between the flood extractors and this machine is whatever we suck up through a wand or just the hose, I can take the hose and go down. I brought some aquarium rocks with me so we can suck the rocks up. Whatever enters this machine, whatever it can suck up, is going to leave the machine like a rodeo in less than 8 seconds. It's in and it's out. There's no filters, no pumps, nothing. You can vacuum and extract and discharge this machine for 10, 12, 15 hours straight. I was telling Jennifer this morning that we had a customer call and said, Mickey, I extracted with your machine 12 hours non-stop. It was great. So with that being said, let me show you the inside of the machine here. And we might have to go inside later on the production line, which we will do, and I'll show you the inside of the machine. But you can see there's 2 tubes. David, can you scroll in and go zoom in? So there's a tube on the left side and there's a tube on the right side. This machine has no pumps, because if we had a pump, we'd have to protect the pump like the other flood pumpers on the market. So we have 2 tubes. They're 4-inch plexiglass tubes, about 28 inches long. And what these things do is they act like a shop vac out in your garage. So you can go out in your garage with your shop vac and you can vacuum out your car, cigarette butts, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever is sucked through the hose ends up in your shop vac. So pretend like there's 2 shop vacs inside here. When one of the shop vacs fills, there's a sensor inside that tells the machine, I'm full. We're going to take the vac motor that was under negative pressure, drawing that in, the same as your shop vac out in the garage. We're going to turn on another vac motor which is plumbed to the positive air. And that positive air is going to pressurize that tube, and everything's going to fly out a check valve, and it's going to come out the discharge hose. While one tube is emptying, The other tube is going to be filmed. So it kind of works like a Jarvis heart. This tube will be under vacuum, this one will be under pressure, this one's under pressure while this one's under vacuum. Mud, sand, silt, water, leaves, your earrings, whatever you leave on the ground or whatever we vacuum up is going to go out very, very quickly. So the machine comes with 2 power cords. I'm going to hand out these charts. So you people watching in Texas and everything, there's yours. The machine comes with 2 power cords. One's marked primary cord and the other is a secondary cord. The machine draws approximately 9 amps per vacuum motor. So if we're running 4 motors, we have to be on 2 separate 15 or 20 amp circuits. We have 2 power cords. The machine is a smart machine. So if you're plugged into 2 power cords, you don't have 2 separate circuits. You don't have to flip a button or flip a switch or anything like that. The machine will automatically adjust. It'll know if it's in 2 separate circuits. The primary cord must be plugged in order for the machine to work. If we only have 1 circuit, 1 tube is going to work at a time. It's just going to operate because I need 10 amps to bring it in, 10 amps to push it out, 10 amps to bring it in, 10 amps to push it out. So that you'll notice when you're using the machine on a single cord that you have an interruption while it's empty. But the machine operates just fine. You just got a little interruption while it's vacuuming, then you keep going. Wait, keep going. But you never have to stop and clean, empty, or do anything to the machine. It'll just keep getting rid of all your debris right down to a clean cement floor or a clean carpet as we're demonstrating. If you're on 2 cords, you know, sometimes we're around the corner in the laundry room or in the basement, the machine is somewhere else. We have to walk back to the machine in some instances to see that little light on that indicates we're on the 2nd cord. Well, one of our brilliant engineers decided, why don't we put a dryer buzzer on it, so when we plug it in, if it's a separate circuit, that dryer buzzer will go off and we'll know it. But again, the machine will know. Okay? So with that, I'm going to turn the machine on. And... Did you demonstrate the buzzer? No. David's question was, did I demonstrate the buzzer? My answer is no.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he wants to demonstrate the buzzer. We're on 2 separate circuits? Okay. So we're going to have both sides working. I brought with us some aquarium rocks, and I brought some neon lit marbles. But they're very old. They're from the Experience show last year. So the battery's out, the neon bulbs are cloudy, you can't see the lights anymore. But you'll see the machine will pick them up. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump this stuff in. And the machine is on? Yes. Well, we can get a view of the machine, the back. You want to see the back of the machine?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have the back of the machine. I'm going to turn the unit on. You'll notice the machine is UL approved. I'm on 2 circuits, so my buzzer's buzzing. The machine is automatically making its adjustments. In order to start the machine, I hit the start button. When I'm done, I can hit the stop button. If I'm just pausing, I'll hit the stop button. But if I'm going to put it back in the truck and I'm done for the day, I may want to purge the hose. So as I'm bringing the hose to the truck, I'm not dragging water and things like this nature. It'll purge everything out. Kind of a violent purge because we got all these back motors happening at the same time. So we better make sure we're holding on to that purge hose to make sure